こんにちは。IALC学校紹介動画をご覧いただき誠にありがとうございます。IALC日本マーケット担当のバーンめぐみと申します。IALCは日本名を世界語学学校協会といって、世界20カ国にある独立経営及び私立の語学学校の品質を厳しく審査し、認定している非営利団体です。現在では20カ国から10の言語を教える約140の語学学校が認定を受けています。本日はイギリス南西部デボン州のリゾート地として名高い海辺の町トーキーにあるIALC認定校をご紹介させていただきます。トーキーは日本ではあまりメジャーな留学先ではありませんが、イギリス国内やヨーロッパでは人気の観光地であり、作家のアガサ・クリスティが生まれ、長い年月を過ごした町でもあります。本日紹介いたしますトーキーインターナショナルスクールの特徴としましては、50年もの歴史を誇る語学学校で、スタッフのケアがきめ細やかなこと、学校が紹介するホームステイが学生に高く評価されていること、また、日本人の学生数が少ないことから、様々な国の学生と知り合い、友達になれる理想的な国籍構成などがあります。さらには、クリスマスと新年以外の祝祭日も授業があることも、トーキーインターナショナルスクールの特徴です。それでは、これから学校のプレゼンテーションを担当者のシルビナさんに行っていただきます。プレゼンテーションは英語となります。シルビナさん、ご準備がよろしければ、プレゼンテーションをお願いいたします。
Thank you, Konnichiwa, Japan. Thank you for your time today. I'm delighted to be here today to present you our school in Turkey. So I'm going to share my screen, if you allow me. My name is Silvina Berry, as Megumi has just introduced me, and I'll be delighted to share with you additional information about Torquay International School. So let me put this in presentation mode so that we can start. Okay. So this is a picture of our school, which is located in Torquay. Torquay is in the southwest of England. It's an area called also the English Riviera. And as you can see, we've got palm trees, which is quite unusual in the UK. But because this is an area by the sea, and it can be quite, I wouldn't say tropical, but warmer than other parts in the UK, especially in the summer. It's got a very beautiful flora and fauna and vegetation, and there are beautiful landscapes and beautiful gardens and beautiful trees and palm trees available in the region. So one of the reasons why our photograph there shows the palm trees, because it's a characteristic of the region as well. So this is just a stunning picture of the bay, of the area in the harbor of Torquay. We are just about 15-minute walks from this breathtaking image, which shows the beauty of the landscape and the region in itself, which is, as I mentioned at the beginning, a coastal city by the sea. Sometimes when you make a decision about a place where to study, you start thinking, what are the highlights or what are the key and unique selling points to choose that destination and to choose that school in particular. We are a school that is coming up to 51 years of service to our students. We were first founded in 1972. That means that we've got a very experienced pool of staff and professionals dedicated to the service of language teaching to our students. That means that as a family business run, which started in 1972, and it went through different ownerships, but still a family business owned. We've got very dedicated staff within our teachers, customer service managers, the sales and marketing team, that we are always at your disposal to support you all along in the process of either studying with us or counseling students who might be wanting to study with us. The destination, as I showed you previously, is absolutely stunning and beautiful. Torquay is also well known because it's also the birthplace of Agatha Christie. So you might have read one of the mystery murder stories that Agatha Christie has written. And as being born and raised in Torquay, a lot of the scenes in her books are depicted in the beautiful landscape of the region. So this shows a little bit more the location of where we are. Torquay, as I mentioned at the beginning, is in the southwest of England, very close to university cities like Exeter, about an hour and a half from Bristol, which is another seaside resort, and about 2.5 hours to 3 to airports such as Heathrow, Gatwick, Luton, or London Stansted. So the closest London airport to Torquay is Heathrow. And in the route, I would go first Heathrow, then Gatwick, then Luton, and then Stansted. But I think from Japan, the majority of flights go into either Heathrow or London Gatwick. So a little bit more reference about the destination, because not everybody knows Torquay. It's one of, it's been voted England's #1 seaside town in the southwest. It's an area that provides the opportunity of a little bit of a microclimate as well in the summer. So you can enjoy the beaches, the landscape. It's a Jurassic route as well. There are still a lot of Jurassic remains in the area. So it makes coastal walks and exploratory trips really, really interesting. So that is one. It's been also regarded as one of the most attractive seaside resorts in the UK. And it's also, since the pandemic, as we suffered it all for long 3 years, it turned one of the favorite holiday destinations also for the British. So it still remains a very British destination. So when you come to Torquay, and like other cities that are fantastic in the UK, like Cambridge or Oxford or even London itself, these cities have become over time very cosmopolitan. So when you walk along those streets, you hardly ever sometimes hear any English because of the number of tourists or the international audience that there are around. Whereas in Torquay, it still remains its Britishness. And when you walk through the streets of the town and the city altogether, you will hear a lot of British English, because it is a place heavily attended by locals, and it still enjoys that Britishness that I referred to earlier on, about the experience of coming to study English in the UK, to mingle and to mix with the British community and the British culture. Just to interleave a few beautiful pictures about the destination. As you can see, this is one of the scenes. I've been asked before, is it so blue? Yes, it is very blue. It's a very blue sea. It's very flat, so it's characteristic of an area where you don't have big waves. So it's not a region where you would go windsurfing, but you will go paddleboarding, and it's a beautiful area to go swimming as well, because it is really, really flat. And that's why the sea is so blue, because it doesn't have the foam that the waves will constantly produce. So the scenery of the hills around it and the mountains surrounding it, and the trees and the blue sea makes it a very, very beautiful place to be. And this is another beautiful picture of the sea, as I mentioned to you, from one of the viewpoints in Babacombe Beach. So now that was a little bit of an introduction of the destination itself so that you can understand what you would enjoy if you were to join us. And now I'd like to dedicate a little bit of time talking about our courses and what we have to offer you. We have a solution and a course for every age all along. So perhaps we are more characterized for a more mature audience, because one of our key programs are the 30 plus and the 50 plus courses. These are courses that we run in small classes. The 30 plus is a course that we call also Max 4, because the maximum number of participants is 4 students in a class at a strictly minimum age of 30. So we guarantee that if you join that course, you are not going to mix with students that are younger than 30 years old. It's going to be 30 onwards. And the maximum class size is 4, which makes the delivery very personalized through a very thorough needs analysis of what you would like to achieve in a course with us. And we build the content of the course around the interest of the participants and the needs, the academic and social and cultural and professional needs of the participants. This is a course that runs in batches of 15, 19, 23 or 30 hours a week. And another important aspect of our delivery is our lessons are 60 minutes. So usually when you consider lessons with other language providers, they tend to be 45 minutes long. Our lessons are full hours of 60 minutes. So you will get, if you get 15 hours, you're going to get three full hours in the morning during 5 days a week. If you do 19 hours, you're going to get 15 hours in the morning plus 2 afternoons of 2 hours each, totaling 4 hours in the afternoon. If you do 23 hours, it's going to be 15 hours in the morning and 8 hours in the afternoon, along 4 afternoons. And if you do 30 hours, it's like a mirror of the morning. You will have 15 hours in the morning and 15 hours in the afternoon, which is a very super intensive course. That is more or less the structures of our intensive and general English courses. Whether you do them in a maximum class size of 4 for 30 plus students, or if you do a more general English course from the minimum age of 18, where the maximum class size then goes up to 12 students in a class. So that's more or less the setup of general English courses, whether you want them geared to a specific age range of 30 plus, or whether you want a more general English geared for 18 plus onwards. And those are the courses that, as I mentioned before, are delivered in 15, 19, 23, and 30 hours a week. Then we pass on to more cultural experience courses. For instance, one called Language Holidays for Adults, or Discover Devon, which is a general English course for those students who are 50 plus. There comes a time in everybody's lives that when you become a little bit older and you have a little bit more time in your hands, that you want to find a course that would provide you with both the language delivery and experience, but also a cultural experience and the opportunity to meet friends from other parts of the world. And the 50 plus course is a beautiful course for students who are 50 years or older, and is delivered in a maximum class size of 6 students in total. There could be an average of 3. And the combination of this course is having language lessons in the morning, 15 hours in total per week, plus 15 hours of cultural experience, where the students explore aspects of Devon and Cornwall. So what aspects are being explored in this course, Discover Devon, or Language Holidays for Adults? You discover things such as the gastronomy, which is a key area of interest in Torquay. Being by the sea, There's lovely fish and great fish restaurants that are in the area of Torquay. There are 3 Michelin star restaurants, so that's also a gastronomic experience. Agatha Christie is another area of interest where you can go and visit the Agatha Christie Museum and her old residence in Torquay. Anything to do with stately homes and national parks, because of the beautiful flora and fauna, the gardens, the flowers, the trees. There are beautiful scenic coastal walks in the area that allow to explore a region that is completely different from the rest of the UK, and that is why it's also known as the English Riviera. There is the French Riviera, but we also have the English Riviera, which is exactly in Devon. That's one of the cultural courses. Another interesting course for Japanese students, which I know golf is a sport that is highly practiced in Japan, could be that you come and join us for an English plus golf course. And this course combines, it's an extension of the 30 plus, because the minimum age is 30 as well. And it combines language lessons in a maximum class size of 4 students in total, so 15 hours in the morning. And then 3 rounds of in a golf course, in a local golf course and in one of the golf clubs in Torquay. So it combines lessons in the mornings and then 3 rounds of golfs in the afternoon. One important thing that I'd like to add to the courses when you choose a 30 plus or a 50 plus course is that apart from the fact that the class size of the students is much smaller, it could be maximum 4 on the 30 plus or maximum 6 in the 50 plus course, it also includes networking lunches. The networking lunches go from Monday to Thursday. And this is an opportunity to keep on practicing the language in a more relaxed atmosphere. You get accompanied to a local restaurant or cafe or pub by a member of staff. And then it's an opportunity to meet other participants who might be in other courses during lunchtime. So because the Max 4 allows only 4 participants in one same class, concurrently, simultaneously, we might have other courses running at the same time. But these participants, because of different language levels, are not together in the same class, or because the maximum number of participants is already exhausted when we reach 4. So then when they go out for lunch, this is an opportunity to meet other people from other groups and also other nationalities, and use the language, the English language, as a means of communication and an opportunity to keep on practicing the language in a relaxed atmosphere during lunchtime. And another important aspect of this course is that it also includes a complimentary arrival taxi transfer from Heathrow, Gatwick, or local airports, Exeter and Bristol. So when you arrive in the UK for the first time, after a tiring trip from Japan, that it's long, and then you have the jet lag and the time difference, you don't need to worry about negotiating your way around train stations or finding the taxi driver. There will be a chauffeur waiting for you with your name at the airport, who will then chaperone you and chauffeur drive you to the accommodation of your choice, so that you can arrive calmly, relax, and be ready for the next day to start your course. That's on the general English or English plus options of courses that we run. We also at international, we are an international exam preparation center. So at Torquay International School, we offer Cambridge exam preparation for first certificate, CAE, and proficiency. And as an exam center, we have specialist teachers who could also be examiners of the Cambridge exams. And we deliver the courses at the school, and we deliver the exam at the school, which means on completing the exam, rather than having to go to an exam center, you can take the exam at the school, at our school. That is with regards to the first certificate, CAE, and proficiency, which are courses that we run. But if you also have to sit the PET exam, which is one other exam within the Cambridge suite, that is another exam that can be taken with us at the school. Then we are also an IELTS preparation center. We are not yet a test center, but we help students then enroll and sit the exam at a nearby test center, which could be either in Exeter or in Plymouth, which is not so far away from the school. And last but not least, we also run courses for junior students in two formats. One is on Young Learner Academy, where teenagers from the age of 14 up to the age of 17 join us to run a course of English plus activities or English plus specialist subjects such as humanities, science, and sports. But also within the junior courses, we also run English for families. And this is an opportunity for parents and children to join a course together. And the minimum age of the students is 6. So that means that from the age of 6, parents, mom and dad, or mom or dad, or even a grandparent can come with their children to study. And the way it works, this is a year-round program. The parents will take any 15-hour general English course, whether it is the general English for max 18 in a maximum class size of 12, or the max 4 for the 30 plus. And simultaneously, the child will be taught 15 hours of tuition. If there are other children of similar English background and similar age to those participants, then we put them together. But if there are no other children, for instance, sometimes in February or in October when we have a family program running, there aren't many children because children could be at school, then the benefit of this for the child is that the course runs simultaneously, and rather than having group lessons, they get to deliver the same number of tuition hours in one-to-ones. So this is a way of fast-tracking the learning experience of a child who might have very low level of English throughout the year. These courses are weekly enrollments, which means that any week of the year we can take a family program. The Young Learner Academy, though, it's a winter program or a summer program. So we run them as an open enrollment for groups or individuals in January and February, or then in the months of June, July, and August. So that's in general about our courses. This is, I keep interleaving some of the pictures of the school. This is the school of a common room where the students during break time come and relax. And as you can see, it's around, it overlooks our garden, and it's an area where you will have tea and coffee making facilities. There's also a vending machine where students can get refreshments or some snacks if they want to get something to eat in break time. And there's always a television which broadcasts the news or any program, or recently we have the World Cup, so that was being broadcast from the television, or sometimes in the months of June and July we have Wimbledon, and sometimes the students like to watch the tennis matches, and that is broadcast throughout break time as an extra way of practicing the language. Our students, so one of our questions is always, what is the demographics of the students in terms of age range or in terms of nationality mix. So let's go first into the age range and the age split. So as I mentioned at the beginning, perhaps our school is more characterized for a more mature audience. So we tend to have a variety of students that come on general English course. If that is from the age of 16 to 19, that would represent around 26% of our student population. The age range from 30 to 44 is approximately 23% of our students' demographic, and then more mature students between the age of 45 to even 75 or sometimes 80, it's 33% of our demographics. This is a calculation that we made an average of 2019 and 2022, because as you know, 2020 and 2021 we were open but with very low number of students. So we did an average between those that attended in 2019 and as the business recuperated over the course of 2022, as the majority of the markets reopened and we started to receive the number of students that we had before. In terms of nationality mix, we consider ourselves truly multinational. The marks in red show primarily where our students tend to come from, and how the students, because it's a seaside destination, I have to admit that the student numbers fluctuate with lower occupancy, perhaps in the months of January and February, and then in the months of November and December, and it goes up in a wave and a cycle leading towards July, which is our peak attendance periods, and then dropping altogether. So I always like to say that for Torquay, students tend to attend more as we go into summertime, and then as we depart from summertime into wintertime. So for instance, now in January, we are in wintertime. That means that the days are a little bit shorter and it's a bit colder and perhaps a little bit more raining. By the end of March, we switch on to summertime, and the days from morning even into evening are much longer. And then summertime finishes at the end of October. So as you can see, the cycle goes up and down in the way the time changes over seasons. And in terms of top nationalities in 2022, we are a school quite heavily attended by Europeans, Swiss, German, Spanish and Italian being one of the top ones, and even French. And Japanese started coming back in 2022, which is something that really makes us very happy, because it adds to a different nationality to the mix of languages and cultures that we have primarily from Europe. Traveling to Torquay, as I mentioned earlier on when I showed you the map, there are direct connections to Heathrow Airport, but also direct connections to Gatwick Airport. By train is approximately 3 hours from London Paddington, which is the main train station that takes you to Torquay. And then alternatively, there are local airports, but those are suited to the Japanese audience, where you to have a stopover in other parts of Europe, such as Spain or France, or even Switzerland. If you were to fly into those bigger airports and you want to find a connecting flight, you might wish to consider Exeter or Bristol as alternative airports for arrival, because they are closer to us. I think now we're going to go into Torquay by night, another beautiful picture. Flowers in the region are also a very characteristic feature of the landscape, and it shows how beautiful, as you take steps towards the sea, how beautiful the landscape can be. This is just another picture of the seaside resort. Accommodation, another very important aspect to take into consideration. Our homestay, we consider ourselves to provide one of the best homestay provisions in this industry. It still, as I mentioned before, remains quite British. Homestays are very spacious. Lots of them have very big rooms and bigger rooms with private bathrooms. So it's not difficult to provide homestay with private bathrooms en suite in an area like Torquay. So the homestays, this is a lady called Mrs. Murphy. She's one of our most popular homestays with our student population, and that's her home. So she has a beautiful garden and a very spacious home. So we try to provide what we call a full immersion as an alternative when you choose to stay in a homestay, to add to the British culture and way of life. They tend to be within walking distance to the school, always remembering that Torquay, being a hilly area, is quite hilly. So sometimes what could be a 10-minute walk for me could be a 15-minute walk to you, depending on how fast you walk and how quickly you can go up and down. But in general, we can find very nice homestays within walking distance to the schools. If they are not within walking distance, we will help provide a very easy bus pass and bus route. The meal plan is usually breakfast and dinner every day, plus some light lunches at the weekend. Arrivals tend to be and departures between Saturday and Sunday, but we are very accommodating with extra nights. So if you need extra nights, that's also easy to coordinate. And homestays are probably one of our most popular choices because of the service that our homestays deliver. They are friendly, they are clean and comfortable, they are carefully chosen. We have a very thorough selection and inspection of who we provide, and it's constantly monitored by us through feedback, spot check visits, and the recruitment process altogether. This is just a reminder of the beautiful space that you can enjoy if you come and visit us. And these are some alternative accommodation options, because we also can help coordinate self-catering residences or apartments, and also accommodation in a local bed and breakfast, which is within walking distance to the school. We tend to use two. One is across the road and one is 100 meters from the school on the same road. So coming to an end, why choose us as the school of your choice? Because we've got 50 years of almost 51 years of experience delivering high quality teaching for courses at all levels, from A1 to C2. We teach in small classes. Even the general English course, the maximum class size is 12. On average, this industry provides sometimes 15 or 18. We don't. We cap it at 12, and you could enjoy a maximum of an average of 8 students in a class. And then we have the specialist courses that I mentioned before for the 30 plus and the 50 plus, where the class size is much smaller. We are experts in English for professionals and for business. We provide a great social program to explore the areas and the beauty of Devon and Cornwall. It's a beautiful destination with personal service, with quality experience and loyal staff. And we are also an exam center, which if you need to sit an international exam, remember that we are Cambridge Exam Preparation Test Center. And we also provide thorough preparation for IALC exams. So just another picture to remind you how beautiful the landscape is. Important to know our accreditations and memberships. We are an IALC member. As you know, IALC is one of the greatest accreditations for boutique and high quality language schools. So we are very proud to be part of the IALC family. We are also British Council accredited and English UK member. So these are very important accreditations that reconfirm and guarantee the quality of delivery of our service. And then if you need to contact us, you can visit our website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or you can write to us or call us, and most likely it would be me attending your questions. So we hope to see you in the English Riviera, and we hope to see you in Torquay International School, and it would be our pleasure to assist you and to help you grow your language expertise in the English language. Thank you for your time. Arigatou gozaimasu.
はい。シルビナさん、大変詳しい美しいプレゼンテーションありがとうございました。ご視聴いただいている皆様には、冬季インターナショナルスクールや学校のエリアに興味を寄せていただけるきっかけになりましたら幸いです。ご質問がございましたら、ぜひお気軽にシルビナさん、もしくはIALCにお問い合わせいただければと存じます。冬季インターナショナルスクールに皆様をお迎えできますのをお待ちしています。本日は学校紹介動画をご視聴いただき誠にありがとうございました。Thank you, Silvina, and goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.